I'm ready to do my side seams, and when you're seaming, when you're seaming a side seam, you want to position it the same way you picked up stitches. I'm going to be seaming between this first column of stitches that you can see. Let me bring it closer. Okay, I've got that first column of stitches that are V's, and then I have this ugly icky thing on the side. That's my selvage. I'm going to be using the horizontal bars in between. Now when I do this, I always use every horizontal bar. That way I'm not going to get off, and that's what I'll do here. Now to start a seam, make sure that you can see those horizontal bars, and I'm going to do a figure 8. I'm going to bring my seaming thread up through the bottom on one side, and I'm going to do the same on the other, up from the bottom. And normally when I'd seam, I'd use a long tail. I'd leave a long tail here, but sequins, mohair, not so good for seaming. And I'm going to bring it up through the bottom there, okay, through my cast on edges, and then, oops, okay, you got too many pieces of yarn here. And then I'm going to bring it back up through that same location. Now the reason why this is called a figure 8 is, if I move everything, all my yarn tails and stuff, you can see that it looks like a figure 8. And what that does is it locks it at the bottom, and it provides a nice clean edge. Now pull a little bit there. And then I'm simply going to insert my needle in the same place where I came out of. Okay, it's hard to do without, not on a table, sorry. It's not this difficult. It's just trying to hold these without. Okay, all right, there we go. I'm going to go, that's where my yarn came out of. I'm going to go in and out underneath that horizontal bar on one side. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to continue to do that all the way up. And this is called the mattress stitch. Okay, in where the yarn came out, underneath a horizontal bar, and up under. And again, I'm going to have to deal with all of these little bits of yarn over there in a minute. Ugh. Getting started is always the tricky part. And I'm just going to repeat this process over and over all the way up. And it's a little time consuming, but it's going to look great when it's done. Now, the key thing is, when I've got enough that I want to pull this tight, and I want to get this yarn tail out of here so I can pull it tight. Okay. You want to make sure that you hold the bottom tail and the top tail, and you pull it tight. And you can see that you've got a nice clean seam. You don't see the seaming thread at all, and the rows line up side by side. And that's what we're looking for.